Hi friends, it's Liz with Premier Yarns, and in this video I'll show you how to make a small sample of this beautiful overlay mosaic Montana throw pattern, and I'll even show you how to make the enclosed border around the entire blanket. Let's get started. The Montana throw is worked with 4 colors, 3 different colors in this beautiful rustic acrylic yarn. And I'm going to show you how to work the sample in these 2 colors of Rustic, and the main color we're using are Serenity Chunky. This is a free pattern over at premieryarns.com, and the pattern includes all the written instructions as well as a color chart, and you can work the whole pattern from this color chart. So in overlay mosaic crochet, we work with 1 color each row except for the very first setup row. So in the very first setup row, I just chained however many it states in the pattern, and I worked a single crochet into each one of those chains, and that's this first row of the color chart here. And then I worked a single crochet through the back loop only of all of these next stitches, and that's what I have here in my little sample. So once I worked the single crochet through the back loop only, I'm going to fasten off that yarn. Now for row 1, which is where we're starting here, you can see on the side that means we start with the next color. So I'm going to start with a single crochet join. I have a slip knot already on my hook. I'm just going to insert my hook through the first single crochet through both loops, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. And now I have my single crochet right on there. I don't need to slip stitch and chain up 1. Now I'm going to work 1 more single crochet through both loops. And now here, as you can see on the chart, I have all boxes that don't have any symbols. That means these are all single crochet through the back loop only. So here's the front loop, here's the back loop. So I'll just single crochet across each stitch, working in the back loop only. Now that I've reached the last 2 stitches of the row, according to my chart, those should be A, which is single crochet through both loops. And that's going to be the same throughout the whole pattern. The first 2 stitches and the last 2 stitches will be single crochet through both loops. And that's just to make a nice side edge for working our double border. So single crochet through both loops. And as with overlay mosaic crochet, we're going to fasten off each row. Each time we add a new color, which is only within a row, we fasten off. So cut your yarn and then yarn over and pull through to keep that nice and tight so it doesn't go anywhere. No turning your work in overlay mosaic crochet. We're going to go back to the right side and start with our next color. So we are on row 2, and we're going to start with white. As you can see right here, we have the main color white. Just going to make that single crochet join just like we did. You'll do that for every row. So single crochet join and single crochet through both loops. Now if you take a look at the chart, this very first stitch after we do the 2 single crochet through both loops says L, so we need to work a long double crochet from row 2 into the first or the second setup row. So this is the second setup row, and as you can see, I left the front loop, the loop here unworked because we worked through the back loops only, so I left the front loop unworked so we can work directly into that with a long double crochet. To make the long double crochet, we'll just yarn over and then insert your hook into that unworked front loop and just work, yarn over, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 to work a double crochet into that loop. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches with no symbol, so those are all single crochet through the back loop only. And then we have 2 long double crochets, and then 6 with no symbol and 2 long double crochets. So we're going to do that all the way across until we get to the 3rd to last stitch. So make sure you skip the stitch from the back, because you worked a long double crochet there, so you don't need to work anything in that back. So here's the next stitch. So we'll work through the back loop only. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we have to work 2 long double crochets here and here. So if we look to our front loops, you can eyeball it and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are the 6 we worked up here, so we're not going to do anything in those stitches. This is the next front loop that we need to work our long front loop double crochet, and then we'll skip this stitch and skip this stitch. So yarn over, grab into that front loop, and work your long double crochet. And then we'll do one more right next to it. These 2 stitches here, we don't do anything because we did the long double crochet. And then we go back to our back loop only single crochets. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to continue that all the way across the row. And then the last 2 stitches will be single crochet through both loops. And then we fasten off. Okay, that was row 2. Now we're up to row 3 with the next color. And we have 1, 2 back loop only single crochets, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 long double crochets. So first your join, then your single crochet through both loops, then 2 back loop only single crochets. That's 1 and 2. And now we're going to do our 4 long double crochets. So remember, we skipped this stitch, we're skipping this stitch, and we're going to do a long double crochet into this front loop here, and into the next front loop, the 3rd, and the 4th. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 back loop only single crochets because there's no symbol there. So here's where you can see, even though there's different colors here, those colors just represent what our final pattern is going to look like. What you really need to pay attention to is to whether your box has a symbol or not. And if it doesn't have a symbol, you're just going to do single crochet through the back loop. So we skipped these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet through the back loop. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So skip, 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 and then do our 4 long double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And continue that all the way across. In the next row, we're going to go back to the main color, and we'll work 1 stitch into the back loop only, and then we'll do a long double crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches into the back loop only. So start off with a slip knot on the hook. One and two, and then the first stitch into the back loop only, and then we'll do, skip this stitch here, a long double crochet into this front loop here, and then 4 back loop only. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here we do a long double crochet, skip that stitch in the back, 2 back loop only single crochets, and then a long double crochet. And then you're just going to continue that pattern as is in the color chart all the way across. For this whole blanket, you should have the same number of stitches throughout the entire pattern. So you can count your stitches. If you think you made a mistake somewhere, make sure that you have the right amount of stitches, and make sure that you skip the correct stitches in the back of your work. And that is how you make overlay mosaic crochet. It's that easy. Once you finish, you'll have this beautiful pattern that looks just like the color chart. And in the next video, I will show you how to make this pretty border along the edges of our blanket so we can close in all of these long ends and you won't have to weave in any ends. This has been Liz with Premier Yarns, and thanks for watching how to make the Montana throw in the overlay mosaic crochet technique. See you next time.